Let's see how bright this thing really is. Ah! It's like the sun. That's better. I like to have a bit of fun with my intros, but that brightness is not too far off. Before I get to that brightness and everything about the LG OLED Evo G4, I'm trying to brighten someone else's day with the giveaway. I've been saying this for a while. This is my favorite thing to do in videos, chance to give back, say thank you for watching the channel all of these years and supporting everything we're trying to do here. Chance to win $500. Leave a comment down below. Tell me the first movie you would watch on your new LG G4. Tell me a fact about yourself, a dad joke. Just make sure there's a way for me to contact you either in the comments or on your YouTube page. Let this run for 10 days, open to anyone in the world. All the information you need, though, will be down in the description down below. I've been reviewing TVs for a while. I've got some perspective, and I feel like we are in kind of a new age for OLED TVs especially. We've kind of gotten to the point where these TV manufacturers have like gone through a checklist, kind of addressed almost every shortcoming OLED technology's had since it was introduced now almost like 2 decades ago. And this video sponsor, LG, has consistently been at the forefront of driving the tech's evolution since they entered the OLED space 11 years ago. In fact, as of this year, LG's become the best-selling OLED TV brand in the world. And I'm actually one of those paying customers. I've been saying for a while that LG makes the best OLED TVs I've ever tested. And I put my money where my mouth was a few years ago and purchased an LG G2. And I've been incredibly satisfied with that set. But since then, LG's made a lot of improvements to their G-series OLED TVs, even since last year's pretty incredible G3 model. While on the surface, it might seem like these are mostly incremental improvements from older models to the G4, kind of in reality, these improvements fix basically every small issue they've had with the previous sets. And the benefits of the G4 are all the details. And one of those details, which you probably could have guessed from the over-exaggerated intro, is super bright. And LG's been doing some really interesting things with those brightness improvements. Part of that is thanks to the G4 having micro lens array technology. You might hear this referred to as MLA, which is now included in sizes up to 83 inches. So if you don't know, kind of just quickly, MLA, or in this case MLA Plus on the G4, it's a layer of billions of microscopic concave lenses that help amplify and disperse the light coming from inside the panel. And often in TVs, light produced inside of the panels isn't getting through all the layers into your eyes. MLA helps streamline a path for that lost light, so you're getting closer to that full brightness output that your TV is capable of. When you add in LG's Brightness Booster Max feature with MLA Plus tech in the G4, it can now get up to 150% brighter than LG's own OLED B4 models. Let me just show you what that means when I compare brightness to last year's really good G3. And the G3 still gets plenty bright. The difference with the G4's brightness is that you're still maintaining the detail in those pictures, despite the really bright kind of overall image. Like the big knock on OLEDs for a while is that they never got bright enough. That is done and gone. So having sort of these TVs in bright, well-lit rooms is now totally possible, and beyond that, it's completely fine. Granted, the panels are still glossy, so you can still get some reflections and glare, but even those reflections are reduced on the G4, and the brightness almost completely overrides any remaining reflections or glare that might show up here. And a lot of these sort of brightness improvements are because of the processor. It's LG's Alpha 11 AI processor. We've seen LG's AI processors in the past will improve sound and picture quality with AI Picture Pro and AI Sound Pro, but this new processor very clearly stands above sort of the rest of them. So the other interesting thing LG is doing with brightness this year is something that I think is going to fly under the radar for a lot of buyers initially. It's also something I wish was on every single TV. LG added a professional setting to dynamic tone mapping called Dynamic Tone Mapping Pro. This gives you just crazy granular control over how your TV handles sort of highlight roll-off in HDR scenes. So it's up to you. Do you want to prioritize highlight detail over the cost overall brightness? Do you want to preserve brightness of the image but risk losing detail in the really bright parts of a scene? Do you want to be somewhere in between? LG is actually giving you that choice on the G4. The settings let you choose and gives you direct control over scenes mastered in 3 different brightness levels. You can control the tone mapping roll-off points for scenes mastered in 1000 nits, 4000 nits, and 10,000 nits. I have never seen control options like this on a TV before. And and I love it. And if you want that extra level of fine-tuning, detail, and calibration of your set, you're gonna want this and probably wish every TV had it too. This feature also offers huge benefits for gaming as well, but I will get there. And I know that was a little in the weeds. Calibrating a picture can be intimidating, a bit daunting. LG's made that just easier for anybody, and they're doing it with something called AI Picture Wizard. It's gonna give you a series of images to choose from, pick the ones that you like the best, and then it'll customize a picture profile for you. But no matter how deep or don't deep you go into the settings, just know you're getting brightness improvements that are noticeable, especially if you're coming from older models like the G2 or other LG models like the B4. All right, so now increased brightness ultimately doesn't matter much. Overall picture quality also isn't great, but it's LG and it's OLED, so the expected image quality is really incredible. So here you're getting those signature OLED sort of perfect inky blacks, vibrant poppy colors, sort of infinite contrast levels. Anything I put on this TV will look amazing. I think you hear a lot of people in videos saying similar things about most OLEDs, but I don't want to sort of just undersell how vibrant and clean the image is on set. Not even halfway through the year, I'm already predicting that this will probably be the best looking OLED of 2024. Like, it is that level of good. LG's also made some improvements to their picture profile. So the typical options like Vivid, Standard, Eco, Sports, Game Optimizer, Cinema, Filmmaker mode, as well as Expert modes too. LG didn't add any new modes, but they did fine-tune the calibration of each mode, giving you kind of less reason to have to go in and adjust the picture settings. Standard has notoriously just been too dark and flat, but this year it feels a lot more balanced and is finally what it should be, a decent all-around profile for most things that you watch. It's a pleasant surprise that I didn't expect. The thing is, means I didn't expect to appreciate. Saw some webOS 24, got some really interesting updates. So typically, tvOSs are a thing that I don't pay much attention to. I usually just hook up a streaming box and never really look at the TV's built-in OS. There's actually some really good reasons to use webOS 24. The first, that LG is now offering 5 years of webOS upgrades to enjoy up to 5 years of performance kind of peace of mind. On top of that 5-year limited panel warranty. You also have some nice features like live picture-in-picture, so you can see what's going on sort of in real time on another HDMI input. LG even added additional tiles called Dynamic Info to show your recent activity within each category. So if you want to, you can quickly jump to your favorite things. On top of that, if you're into AI assistants, also has a chatbot built in if you want help connecting like a soundbar or something. One thing you won't see in webOS 24, and a big clap for this one, you won't see ads. That was a big knock on previous versions. LG thankfully now allows you to turn that, it's called feature, off, so you don't get tons of ads clogging up your view when simply just like turning on your TV. All right, so I told you I would talk about gaming, so let's do it. LG's been known for making sort of great TVs for gamers, and the G4 is obviously no different. On the back, you have a ton of I/O, including 4 HDMI 2.1 ports capable of 4K 120 Hertz, and one of those is eARC. You also have the option to display 144 Hertz, so you have plenty of ports to hook up to next-gen consoles, high-end gaming PC, whatever you want. You don't particularly need a separate gaming monitor setup if you use like this TV. On top of that, you're also getting the ability to display Dolby Vision HDR gaming that at full 120 Hertz, which isn't particularly common. So practically anything you throw at it, you won't lose out on anything when playing in HDR. Beyond that, of course, you're also getting LG's Game Optimizer and also support for G-Sync and FreeSync, as well as VRR up to 144 Hertz. It is super quick and a convenient way to kind of adjust settings or monitor gaming performance, all built into the TV. You also have the option to stream and play NVIDIA GeForce. So now games built right into your TV, just another sort of great option to play some of your favorite titles without having to hook up any additional consoles or machines. When you combine all of that, as expected, gaming on the G4 is really good. It feels immersive, HDR looks incredible, and I don't feel like I'm sort of sacrificing anything playing on a TV instead of a specific gaming monitor. Aside from that, design has the same kind of one-wall design as a G3, which thankfully was already pretty good. So LG didn't need to reinvent the wheel there. You can put your TV up on the wall. There's practically like zero gap between the TV and the wall. My G2 is like that, and I love the way it looks. But this year, LG did something that I love even more, included the option for a stand. Not just any stand, a free stand. You don't have to buy an additional stand anymore. You've got the option for either wall mount or the stand when you purchase the TV. Plus, LG clearly listened to feedback from professionals and customers, made their stand actually sturdy, so it doesn't sort of lean back slightly anymore like it did in previous years. There are a ton of TV options, and really we're at the point where any TV you get is going to be good. But in a world of good, if you're spending the money, you should get a TV that's great. And that's sort of the decision I went through when I bought my LG G2. You are getting the best of pretty much everything when it comes to TVs. You're watching bright content, you got brightness. You're watching dark content, you're covered. You're doing gaming, you are covered. Anything you're gonna wanna do on your TV, the LG G4 will not just do it well, it'll do an incredible job at showing it to you. Whether you wanna go into the weeds and dial in settings, just wanna use what they give you out of the box, you're going to get an incredible viewing experience. If you wanna learn more about the G4 or any other LG TVs, just hit the link down below.